now we move on to the next speaker. Sanidhya, right? Sanidhya is one expression of love or devotion towards Swami. You know, we have in between us one such personality who is always close to Swami, Dr. T. Ravi Kumar. You know, Dr. T. Ravi Kumar's journey into the realm of spirituality began in 1969 when he was drawn to Swami's divine presence as a young boy in Bangalore. His intermediate, his bachelor's degree, his post-graduation, everything happened under Swami's divine grace and Swami's guidance, in fact. So in 1981, Dr. T. Ravi Kumar was appointed as faculty member at Bhagwan's Brindavan College, Bangalore, marking the beginning of his career. Feather on his cap, with the establishment of Bhagwan's University, he was blessed to become one of the earliest research scholars in the field of chemistry at Prashanti Nilayam campus. Following his academic achievements, Dr. T. Ravi Kumar returned to Brindavan campus to serve as a faculty member, and currently he holds the esteemed position of Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, and also serves as a warden of the hostel at Brindavan campus, fulfilling dual roles of educating and mentoring the students of Brindavan campus. A big round of applause, because taking up dual role is not so easy. I humbly request Dr. T. Ravi Kumar to decorate the dais and share his wisdom on how to be close, hold his education, everything, including his career, is very close to Swami. I'm requesting him to decorate the dais and guide us on how to be close to Swami by regularly studying the Swami literature, Sai literature. I request you, sir, to integrate the dais.
Offering my humble salutations at Bhagwan's lotus feet, most beloved and dearest Bhagwan, respected elders, brothers and sisters. At the very outset, thank you for that applause, which I think I don't deserve because I am not doing any dual role now. I have since retired 6 years back. So I am just a warden of the hostel, or I claim to be a warden of the hostel. Because in our hostel we have a very interesting framed document, which is the hostel letterhead. Everything else is empty. There is Swami's signature, above a seal which says warden. So the real warden of the hostel is Swami. So I can't even claim that role. I'm just like when Professor Kasturi was asked, how do you feel being the editor of Sanatan Sarthi? He said, I feel like a housefly sitting on the steering wheel and imagine it's driving. But entitled to the exhilaration of feeling it is driving. And that is how I feel today. Before we proceed with this, I would request your indulgence to narrate one experience which will be a continuity of what Karthik was saying. Let me take you back to the 1970s. We had the old bungalow in Brindavan, and Swami used to allow some of the students to sleep there in the night, study in the night and sleep in the mandir. And there was this group of boys who would go there at around 8 or 9 and stay there whole night, and at 5 they would get up, come back to the hostel and brush and attend Suprabhat. Mr. Ram Brahman, who was in charge of this place. He was a custodian. He told Swami, it's at 5 o'clock that I go for my ablutions, for having bath and all that. And if these boys go off to the hostel, at that time, the downstairs nobody will be there, it will be empty. So it's better that at least one of them stays back till I come back from my bath and then they can go. So Swami said, okay, tell them. So one day, one boy was sitting there waiting for Mr. Ram to come. And suddenly he heard footsteps. Got very worried. Went and checked up. All the doors are locked. Everywhere he checked up, everything is locked. But soft footsteps is here. And he heard this for 2-3 days. And one day when he was hearing this, Mr. Ram came. And he said, sir, Ram said, don't talk. So both of them heard that. And then this boy said, sir, who is that? Swami. The Swami's footstep. Okay. So the next day, in some context, Swami was telling, I have no place to do any exercise. If I come out and do, all these devotees come running. Every chance to get darshan, they will come running. They leave off everything and come running. They won't have breakfast, they will come running. So I want to do it quietly in my room. But my room is so small, so I keep going round and round. And then Ram said, yes Swami, I know. He tells us, Swami said, you know. Yes Swami, even Sagar knows. Then Swami looked at this boy and said, you know. This boy was in a dilemma. See, Swami is getting so little space to walk. Suppose he says, yes, Swami may stop even that. We don't allow Swami even that freedom. So he said, Swami, if I concentrate in that stillness, I can hear your footsteps. And Swami said, Adhira, it's only in the depth of silence you can hear the footsteps of God. So it is such a beautiful thing, the way Swami lived, that there was stillness all around him. And if we concentrate on that stillness, we get to hear his footsteps in our heart. Coming back to this topic, Sai literature, I purposely put this phrase below, an ocean of bliss. It's full of bliss, no doubt about it, but it's an ocean. That is an apology for what little I will be doing today, because the time doesn't allow, or let's say my knowledge does not allow me to talk about this for long. I will talk with a few disclaimers. The first thing is, when I am talking of Sai literature, I am talking only of English Sai literature, with which I am a little familiar. I am talking of the literature which does not include all the YouTube videos, Samarpan videos, all that you have come across today. I am only talking of the print. So next, the question arises, why should we read Sai literature in today's time? It's a question that might be in some people's mind. Of course, some people also have, why should we read itself? For this question on why should we read, Swami has given an answer. He said that the purpose of education, the purpose of making one literate, is to convert a Rakshasa into a Sakshara. Sakshara is literate. A Rakshasa is just if you spell it the other way. So Swami said, you become a Sakshara, you become less of a Rakshasa. Okay. So that is why we have to read. But why should we read Sai literature? For that, I just found a few reasons which I thought I'll share with you. The first thing is to connect with Swami. When you read Swami's literature, you connect with him. When you're reading Swami's literature, automatically your mind is occupied with thoughts of Swami. And therefore you are filled with that ananda. When you read Swami's literature, when you read about Swami or by Swami, or about devotees talking about Swami, you get that joy. So you connect with him. The second one is for designer messages. Sai literature is not one where the words don't change. They change depending on you. What Swami wants to convey to you, he will convey to the book. I have a very concrete example. I was doing my research in Prashanthi Nilayam at that time. And for about 3-4 months, Swami had not talked to me. This was weighing quite heavily on my mind, and I was feeling very worried why Swami is not talking to me or looking at me. One of those days, I had gone to what is called the old hostel, because that's where the washrooms were. And in those days, we had just a limited number of them, 3 or 4. And so, immediately after Swami took a group for interview, I had gone there. And there was a big crowd there, so I was waiting for my turn, and there happened to be a book. The name of that book is Sai. And on the cover of that, were a number of these lamps like you put in during Diwali, that kind of lamps. I just took that book casually and at random opened a page. And what is the message which comes? Research scholars, that's the first word, should not think that Sai does not respond to them. They should inquire what their conduct is and then understand why Sai is behaving the way he does. Just imagine this, page number 67. Meanwhile, my turn came, so I just left the book. I said I must examine this because Swami is talking to research scholars. This is something very precious. So I went, came back, opened page 67, it was not there. That message is not there. Every other message is there, but that is not there. I mean, what is the chance that Swami will be talking to research scholars and addressing this issue that he is not talking to the research scholar and giving the reason why he is not talking to the research scholar? So such things happen if you read Sai literature. So that is one reason why we should read Sai literature. For reliving memories. When you read Sai literature, you are actually enjoying the journey with some devotee. And that devotee's journey of how he came to Swami and how Swami touched him. There's one devotee whose this thing I was reading, and he says that he came to Swami as a young boy. And he wanted Swami's sticker on everything in his house, everything. Pencil box, on his books, on his pen. In fact, he fought with his mother when she said, "You cannot put Swami's sticker on the football." He wanted to put it on football also. And this boy lived like that. He had never met Swami for 30 long years. Then he came to Prashanthi Nilayam. It was a youth conference. He came to Prashanthi Nilayam. And now, will Swami accept me? Will Swami show me some recognition that he knows me? That's a very crucial thing, because otherwise 30 years of his life he has lived in as a dream. So he was very worried. He was sitting in the darshan line and he told himself, I will be satisfied, Swami, if you satisfy one of these conditions. When you come for darshan, look deep into my eyes. One. Or, talk to me. Or, accept a letter. Or, give me par namaskar. Okay? There's one more condition like that here. Swami should look into his eyes, or he should talk to him, or he should give him Pada Namaskar, or he should take the letter. 5 conditions. Swami came, passed by, finished. I was totally crestfallen. 30 years of my life. I dreamt that I am close to Swami. I used to talk to him every moment. Now, so sad. When Swami comes back. Oh, when did you come? Very happy. Swami talked to him. Then Swami looks deep into his eyes. Yeah, the 5th thing is Swami should smile at him. Swami smiles. And Swami takes the letter in his hand. Swami gives him Pada. All the 5 conditions, he satisfies. That is what is Swami. See, when you read about Swami like that, when you read about how devotees pine for him, you get energized, you get enthusiastic. You are not talking about someone, you are talking about the Lord of the universe who responds, and he responds in a manner that only he can respond. So, this is one thing. And the last one, of course, is the last reason why we should read is for sadhana. We need Sai literature as a sadhana. The Saptaham people read, Tapovanam, Sai Satcharita, like that. I have one experience. Reading this Saptaham, they say, is very, very precious. In 7 days, you must finish. Sai Satcharita, it was a little tough to finish in 7 days. Because the English is a little old time English. And so I used to find it a little difficult. When I was doing research, multiple times I tried, I could never finish it in 7 days. Something would happen. Then one day, I decided. Swami was sitting in the Bhajan Mandir, I was sitting in the front line. I looked at Swami, in my mind I said, Swami, today I am starting Sai Satcharita. 7 days, even if there is an earthquake, I will not stop. I will continue. But at the end of it, you must come and give me Namaskar. Pada Namaskar, you must give me. So, it was a Monday. I started the Sai Satcharita. On Thursday, Swami just walks into the bhajan hall, comes and stands in front of me and says, Pada Namaskar Chesko. He says, I'm stunned. There's no, I have not asked, I have not given a letter, I have not prayed for Namaskar on that day. But naturally I was very happy I took Namaskar. And Swami goes back into the interview. That's all. And then my neighbor tells, you know something, Swami is leaving to Brindavan today. After bhajan he is leaving to Brindavan. I said, oh, so that is the reason. He came and he wanted to finish his part of the tea. So he gave me Namaskar. Very nice. Then what happened? Somehow that program got cancelled. And Swami didn't come to Brindavan. Then I said, I am telling Swami, that is not counted. I didn't ask you to give me today. I said, when I finish, you should come and give me. I finished the Satcharita Parayana on a Sunday. Early morning, I got up, finished everything. I said, today, Swami, in Bhakti, the students go for darshan only in the evenings. Only on Sundays, they go morning and evening. I said, 2 times we are going, so good chance. So I went there, and what do I find? Swami takes a big group for an interview from the ladies' side, goes inside, and does not come out at all till the bhajan starts. After the bhajan starts, he comes and sits directly in his throne. So no chance of getting Pada Namaskar. And as if that is not enough, when Swami is getting up after Aarti, he calls Anil Kumar sir and says, announce change. What is that announcement? Today evening there will be a public meeting at 4:30, which 4:25. Okay. So which means that Swami directly come and sit there, so no chance. And I am thinking, oh my God, I missed this chance. But anyway, consolation is he did give me Namaskar. I was thinking like that. Swami comes and there is a inspector from Scotland Yard who is speaking. And he talks about security and all that. And I am sitting in the bhajan group. And suddenly Swami looked at me and asked, He asked, are you ready to speak? I said, yes, Swami. Then as soon as that person finishes, Swami calls me. And I give my speech and all that. I go and sit back and I realize I have got 2 namaskars. Before the speech, after the speech. So that is the Lord with whom we are dealing. If you ask Him for 1, He will give you 2. If you ask Him for 100%, He will give you 200%. That is the beautiful Lord about whom we are speaking. Now, there was a gentleman by name Brahmananda Panda, who was a state president of Odisha in those days, in the 60s, 70s, very great person. He was a member of the parliament, and Swami used to like him very much. And one day Swami told him, see, my life can be divided like this, the different phases of my life. We have heard about the first 3 phases, because in the first discourse in volume 1, SSSIHL speaks, Swami says, the first 16 years of the life will be for leelas, and playing with playmates and being close to the family members and all that. The next 16 years will be for mahimas, breathtaking miracles, which only God can perform. Appearing in the sky, giving Surya Darshan, Chandra Darshan, Agni Darshan, all that. And the next 16 years, Swami says, the accent will be on Upadesh. Upadesh, Swami will give teachings. And Swami tells Brahmananda Panda, the next 16 years, which incidentally happens between 1974 and 1990, Swami says, I will take up Vidya. That is the time when the Brindavan College, Anantapur College had started, and the Prashanti Nilayam College started. Okay? And Swami said, till 90 it will be that. In the 76 summer course, Swami told us, ఇంకా ముందు చూస్తారు సోషల్ వర్క్ అంతా నేను చేస్తాను, బాగా పెద్ద సోషల్ వర్క్ చేస్తాను. సో ఫ్రమ్ 90 onwards till 2006, you can see the water projects, the medical projects, the hospitals, this is one of them. All these came in that time. And of course Swami says, దాని తర్వాత సనాతన ధర్మ. 2006 you had the Atiruddha Mahayagni. So from 2006, the Sanatana Dharma. So the phases of Swami's life, he kind of gave us the idea. Now when we talk of Sai literature, it's so difficult to classify this, but I have tried something. Let us see. Sai literature. The most wonderful thing is, in the other avatars, you find that some Valmiki or Vyasa or somebody else has written. In this avatar, he himself has written so much. The first thing is, he wrote to his letter, a letter to his brother on the 25th of May 1947, in which he gives a vision statement of the avatar. What am I going to achieve in the future? He gives the theme. Akila Manavalaku Anandamana Gurchi Rakshinchi Chundute Dikshanaku. సన్మార్గమును వీడి చలించువారు సైపట్టి కాపాడుటే వ్రతము నాకు, బీద సాధులపైన పెనుబాధ తొలగించి లేని బాపుటే ప్రేమ నాకు. So all the things that he is going to achieve in future, he writes there itself. Okay. Then of course, in the year 1958, he inaugurates Sanatana Sarthi on the 16th of February, which happens to be Shivaratri. Swami inaugurates the Sanatana Sarthi. But the beauty is, for 26 long years, Swami writes in every issue of this continuously till 1984. And these are of course collected into what are called as Vahinis, streams. Prema Vahini, Vidya Vahini, Dharma Vahini, Jnana Vahini, Bhagavata Vahini, then Ramakta Rasa Vahini, Leela Kaivalya Vahini, like that many more are there. Sandeha Nivarini, Bharatiya Paramartha Vahini, like that 15 of them are there. Swami has written till 1984. But the very interesting thing is, Upanishad Vahini, Jnana Vahini. Upanishad Ramakatha Rasa Vahini was the one which Swami was writing when I was a student. One day I remember, like this, we were all sitting around Swami, standing around Swami. In those days we used to stand. And Swami was sitting there and writing something, writing for a long time. You know, standing in front of Swami for hours together was common those days. But Swami is not looking up at all. He's just writing like that, something. At the end of it, Swami said, "Hey, Kasturi, call Kasturi." So Professor Kasturi came. Then Swami gave this, "Hey, Kasturi, 6 months quota. Ramakatha Rasavaini." 6 months. He just wrote it one shot. I mean, no reference, nothing. Of course, what reference does he need? It's a personal. It's autobiography. It's not even what Valmiki wrote. Valmiki wrote a biography. Swami is writing an autobiography. That's the difference. Okay. Then there are discourses which he has given on himself. The avatar on himself. Satya Sai on Satya Sai. There's a book which has come out like that, which contains a compilation of these discourses. During the 74 summer course, Dr. Bhagavatam was translating Swami's speech every day. And so, Swami was talking about very big things, you know. Swami was talking about Vedas, Upanishads and all those. And Dr. Bhagavatam being probably a representative of human beings, got this doubt. Swami is simply telling us something. Is it really from the Vedas, the essence of the Vedas? So, very silently, quietly, he went and asked Tamadani Garu, "I have a question to ask. All that Swami is telling, is it there in the Vedas?" Tamadani Garu got very upset. He said, "What is this you are asking? Whatever Swami says, is it the Vedas? Is this a question to ask? Whatever Swami says is the Vedas. It's not that you have to find out whether it was there in the Vedas. Whatever he says, that is the Veda." And then what happened? Swami gave a discourse in that summer course on himself. The last discourse is on himself. He says who he is. Okay, that was the first time Swami spoke like that. After 74 summer course, we didn't have a summer course in 75, Golden Jubilee. 76 summer course was in Ooty. And at the end of this Ooty summer course, Swami had sent us for doing social service in the Ooty market. And Swami told us, clean the place nicely. మీరు ఎట్లా క్లీన్ చేస్తారో మీ మనసును నేను అట్లా క్లీన్ చేస్తాను. You clean the market in such a manner that you want me to clean your heart. It is a very, very beautiful offer. Okay. So we cleaned it so thoroughly. There was an Iyengar boy with me, and he chose the toughest one. There was a butcher who was cutting goats, and this fellow said, "I want to clean this because tough stings are there inside here. Swami has tough work ahead. So let's incentivize." So this fellow went and he cleaned it so thoroughly. That fellow said, "Sir, don't clean like this. People who come will think I have not had any sales at all. Stock is not good. So don't clean like that." Okay. At the end of it, the Ooty municipality passed a resolution praising the Satya Sai College students. And Swami was very, very happy. He said, "Let's go for a picnic." So we went to a picnic on the top of the hill. There was a shed which was made called Sai Darshan. And Swami was inaugurating that. At the end of it, Swami was about to get into the car. Suddenly he looked at us and said, "Hey, running race was start. Yes. Come for a running race." Who will say no? I mean, running race for college students, running race is the best thing. And if you run with Swami, even if you are defeated, you can keep telling everyone, "No, I ran with Swami." So who will give up this opportunity? Okay. So Swami said, "Ready, steady." Yeah, before that he said, "If you win the race, whoever wins the race, whatever prize you want, I will give." See, only Swami can give that kind of offer, right? So then Swami said, ready, steady, go. And after saying go, he got into the car and went off. We had to come down the hill. Doesn't matter, we came down the hill. But see the beauty. Swami did not come to his house directly. The house was called Walthamstow. It was the Governor General's residence in the British times. Swami went to the town, Ooty town, and came up slowly so that we could get the first prize. When we were reaching, 5 or 6 of us reached, Swami's car was slowly coming. So as soon as Swami said, first prize. Just how the mother is, she makes us win the race and gives us first prize. And Swami asked, we came Kavali, what is the prize you want? And another boy said, Swami, Meer Kaval, we want you. If the Lord is smart, his children are smarter. They know that if you get him, you get everything. Right? Swami, we want you. People Sayankalam is done. Nene ichkontanu, Swami said. I'll give myself. And that day evening, Swami came and we had an exclusive session. Such an exclusive session that Swami said, hey, windows are closed, mic koncham tagginchandi, reduce the mic. Okay? And Swami was so excited, he was bubbling with enthusiasm, he wanted to tell something. And then he asked one of the boys, he asked generally, evarkaina questions unte adigandi. That's the way Swami normally asks, any questions? And one boy said, Swami, I think this is an eternal question. Every generation will ask this question. Swami, how to teach lessons to these older people? That was the question that boy asked. You know what Swami said? I will teach you how I taught. Okay? I will teach you how I taught the older generation. And then he said, by living the life, that is a correct life. And so Swami spoke about his entire life. So that was a Ooty summer course. So we have a number of these. I also remember another occasion. It was the 50th anniversary of October 20th, the Annunciation Day in 1990. I remember for the first time, Swami said, "Nenu ikkadi nunchi discourse ivali." From the front. We are all surprised because at that time there was a very small part of the portico there. Swami used to give all the discourses from the top, from the first floor. But Swami said, no, I want to speak from here only. Okay. So it was arranged. Then Swami gave a discourse. I remember that all the bhajan and the Vedam boys, we were all inside that Prashanti circle. We were sitting there. And then Swami again spoke about his life. So we have a number of these discourses that Swami has given. One particular discourse I must mention to you because it shows the Lord shows us what the attitude of the Lord is. It was somewhere in the late 90s and Swami called all of us senior teachers, professors and all that into the prayer hall. And then Swami said, you all know for the last so many years, I have built Prashanti Nilayam brick by brick myself. We all knew. Because Swami knew every inch of Prashanti Nilayam. I tell you, one day Chenji Rao was telling Swami that wall in the Pandit said Swami that wall has to be there. The 2.5 feet undi kada, Swami said. So he knew some corner of Prashanti Nilayam. So then Swami said, now it's time for all of you to take over all these routine things. We choose over, Swami said. As far as I am concerned, Swami is telling, na sesha jeevitanni na bhaktula sevalo ankitam chesi na jeevitanni sarthakam chesukovali anukuntunnanu. I mean, no words, there are no words, because Swami is telling, as far as I am concerned, the rest of my life, I want to offer it in service to my devotees and redeem my life. Imagine, redeem his life. What is that? I mean, where Swami stands, you call as the sanctum sanctorum, sacred place, the holiest of holy. But he is telling, I want to redeem my life in the service of my devotees. So that is the attitude with which we should do service. Okay, so Swami on himself so much. Then coming to the discourses of Swami. Satya Sai speaks, not one speech, not two speeches. At least 1500 speeches are there. Volumes 42, 1 to 42 have been recorded. There were many more which Swami has given, which was not recorded because at that time Kasturi would find it so difficult. There were no computer, nothing. There would be a rickety typewriter. He would sit in that in his banyan on one stool. In another stool, this would be there. He would be typing day and night. He used to go. And besides that, Sanatan Sati work also he had to do. Okay. Then Satya Sai speaks so many volumes. Then summer showers in Brindavan. When Swami used to conduct these summer courses in Brindavan, it used to be typically in the month of May, June. And that was the time when the summer showers used to start. And that's why it was called as summer showers in Brindavan. Of course, the 1976 one is called as Summer Roses on the Blue Mountains because it was in Ooty. Then there are benedictory discourses of Swami. These are discourses, about 34 discourses, about 29 discourses given from 1981 to 2010. Swami as the Chancellor of the Institute, every convocation Swami has given. Then in the year 1984 what happened? Suddenly the central government dismissed the Chief Minister who had won an election. And they brought someone else and put. And so there was a lot of trouble in Andhra Pradesh everywhere. So how Swami kept us engaged. He told all of us to come immediately after the college to Prashant Nilayam. The gates will be locked and Swami would give discourse for 34 days. Swami gave discourse on Bhagavad Gita. These are the Bhagavad Gita set of discourses that Swami gave. Of course, in the Vahini Swami had written, in the Gita Vahini Swami has written. But this was, you can say that this was Bhagavad Gita tuned to the Arjunas of this age, the way they can understand the battles they have to face. It was not like in Arjuna's time, it was different. The Mahabharata battle was different and today's battles are different. So Swami kind of brought the same message and put it in a way which students can understand. And of course there are this compendium of discourses, there are encyclopedia. There's a book called Digest, written by a person called Murthy, T.K. Murthy. He was the company secretary of Group Bond. He has written this book. This was in the 1990 I think there are many foreigners have done much more after that. And this contains, you can say A means Atma, okay, Akshata, Akasha, like that, no? They reference one small quote of Swami's and the discourse from which it is taken. What are the other discourses which refer to this? Like that it is. It's an encyclopedia. Of course, coming to the biography of Swami, Satyam Shivam Sundaram. Some years back, some decades back, BBC conducted a program, radio program. In those days when we didn't have all these videos and all, we had only the radio, transistors. And BBC's program was called Desert Island. This program was about, they had said this, suppose you are going in a ship and you are marooned on an island, a very small island, no other inhabitants, you have no way of knowing whether you will be saved or how are you going to manage. What are the 3 books you would like to have with you? And they were asking all celebrities. So I asked myself, what are the books I would like to have? 3 books. Actually, Satyam Shivam Sundaram will win, hands down. Satyam Shivam Sundaram, talks about the avatar, talks about the avatar's influence on his devotees, and talks about the fantastic life that Sai led. And it also shows you why fear when I am here. There's a chapter like that, you know. So he is there with you on the island also. So that's the kind of book we can have. Of course, the first 4 volumes are the official ones. Then Baba Satya Sai by Ra Ganapati. This is actually a translation of the Tamil. In Tamil, there was a magazine called Dinamani Kadir, in which he used to write a serial. All that was compressed into a book called Swami, 1008 pages, and that was translated into English as Baba Satya Sai. Sai Baba, Man of Miracles. This is another book which, although I am saying biography, some of these can go into other categories also. I am not worried so much about which category it goes. I just feel that these are books that we should read. Sai Baba, Man of Miracles. In that he says how he first came to Swami, Howard Murphy says, and then he says Swami invites him to Puttaparthi. He is sitting outside on a bedroll, and inside bhajans are going on. It's evening, and he is thinking, when I write a book on spirituality, one chapter on that I should write about Swami. By the time the bhajan ends, he is thinking the whole book should be on Swami. And so when Professor Kasturi comes, he tells, I want to write a book on Sai Baba. And Kasturi tells him, it will be good if it happens. This man is so disappointed. What a cynical way of saying, I want to write and this man is throwing cold water. And next day, Professor Kasturi comes with a set of books and gives it to him and says, I told Swami that you want to write a book. Swami told all the books which are there on me, give a copy to him. So Howard Murphy says, I felt happy that Sai Baba believed me even though Kasturi didn't. Okay. So Sai Baba, Man of Miracles is written in a very analytical way. See, for an Eastern audience, for you and me, faith in God is there in our DNA. No special effort is needed. Special effort is needed only if you want to get brainwashed and follow the Western way of not believing in anything. But for the Western audience, they like to look at it rationally, scientifically, through the mind and all that. For such people, Howard Murphy is an excellent. Of course, the first book he wrote was Sai Baba, Man of Miracles. The second book he wrote was Sai Baba, Avatar. And the third book was Invitation to Glory. And the fourth book was Where the Road Ends. Progression. You can see the progression as you write more and more about Swami, you evolve. That you can see. Of course, I must mention that the first book on Swami in English was written by a person called Arnold Schulman. It was simply a book called Baba. He was a film script writer from Hollywood who came and went back to India, back to US with a very poor idea of India. He said all these people, this guru-shishya relationship, it's a parasitic relationship and all that. He went away with that impression. But the moment he reached US, he got such a powerful awakening from inside. He felt he should go to India. He should go to India. He was trying, jet lag, he's trying to get out, but that's not allowing him. Go to India, write a book on Sai Baba. He said, why should I write about Sai Baba? That idea does not stop it all. And then suddenly he gets a message from some company which says, we want you to write a book on Sai Baba and we will pay the fare up and down. So he comes to Brindavan, and what does he see? Swami's car is going out and Swami says Tata. Swami goes on a month-long tour of Karnataka. And finally, Puttaparthi, he is there. He has to go back. Swami does not look at him once. Final day, he is about to leave. Swami calls him upstairs and says, you came here to write a book on me. I don't need a book. Book is publicity, Swami says. I don't need a book. What do you know about me to write a book? Powerful message. What do you know about me to write a book about me? Swami says, I called you here to write a book because I wanted you. Because you like writing books, I had to use that weight of a book to draw you. And of course, he describes about the life in the ashram in those 60s and all. Sai Baba, the Holy Man and the Psychiatrist is another beautiful book which brought thousands and tens of thousands of foreigners, like Sai Baba, Man of Miracles. Sai Baba, the Holy Man and the Psychiatrist by Samuel Sandweiss. And a brilliant mind. He has a more professional way of looking at Swami's life. You know, he was a psychiatrist and he thought, he has heard about all this out of body experience. You know, Swami appearing in two different places. At a place called Manjeri and Rajamandri at the same time. It's all documented. So he was very curious to read about all this out of body experiences. So he came to Swami. And what does Swami do? Typical of Swami, ignores him completely. Ignores him so totally that man feels very miserable. And he's telling his friend, I'm fed up. He is fed up. Why is he fed up? Because all that Swami is telling is exactly opposite to modern psychiatric thought. Modern psychiatric thought says that you must open your mind. Okay? Whatever the mind says you must do. Don't suppress the mind, all kinds of things it says. And what Swami is telling? Sense control, mind control, thought control. And he is telling his friend, you know, Alf Pettyman, both of them are in the house in Brindavan, says, I want to go back home. He thinks, Sai Baba teach me about psychiatry, about mind. Me? I am a leading psychiatrist. I am assistant professor in the University of San Diego. And Sai Baba, I mean, this is all primitive thought. That's what he is telling this man. And simultaneously what is happening, Swami is addressing the summer course, 1,000 students, just next building. And suddenly they hear the aarti. And within 2 minutes Swami comes in. And this man is depressed, you know. Everyone has told him Swami does miracles and all, and he is not able to see even one miracle because just when Swami is creating vibhuti, suddenly one mosquito will bite and he will go there and just miss the chance. Like that. Keeps on happening. Even to see a miracle, no, you must have God's blessings. It doesn't simply, it's not free like that. Okay. So he is feeling so frustrated. Swami comes to him, looks into his eyes, and gives sugar candy, and says, sweets, sweets, Swami says. And then Swami just smiles, and Swami is gone. And this man is stunned. He's standing there with his mouth open. What was that? He asks. What was that? In a second, you know, Swami has changed his mood and he says, I will stay. In that, he starts that book with the chapter, Sweets, Sweets. You know, that's how he read. I had the chance to meet Samuel Sandweiss when I went to US some years back and I spoke in his Samithi, in his house. The tremendous amount of devotion they have. Their house bhajans are conducted like as if we are in Prashant Nilayam. You won't know the difference. I mean, that much influence Swami has had on him. And so he said, Swami's not only the psychiatrist, the name, the spelling of this word itself should be changed to SAI, psychiatrist. Okay, so that's. Then of course, loving God. Loving God is something that is fantastic book written by Professor Kasturi, his autobiography, but when you read it you will remember only Swami because Swami is intertwined so much in his life. When Professor Kasturi was writing Loving God, my father was in Brindavan and Professor Kasturi used to come and stay with him during the day. He was writing this book and he used to read excerpts of it to me. And he used to read and explain. Okay. Beautiful book. It is beautiful not only as Swami's experience but as a literary piece. The English literature, you know, English literature is definitely enriched by this addition. Sai Baba, the ultimate experience is by Phyllis Crystal, a very great lady. You know, at 100 years, she came to India a couple of years back, I think 3 or 4 years back. At 100 years, she came here and taught meditation and all that. Of course, she has written other books also, like Cutting the Ties That Bind, Taming the Monkey Mind, many books, and she is very famous for the high C, she calls, the higher consciousness, how you cut the unnecessary relationship in the world and concentrate on God. Then there is one recent book which has come in the last, I think, 15 years, Sathya Sai Baba by Bill Aitken. The specialty of this book is, of course, it's published by Penguin. Penguin does not publish autobiographies normally, biographies normally. This is an exception. It's written for a general audience. It's written with a lot of comprehension. This is a nice book. And then coming to the next one, predominantly personal. Reading about Swami is a delight. Reading about Swami as seen by his devotee is also a delight. And among these, you have Divine Memories by Diana Baskin. Diana Baskin was actually a resident of Brindavan for many, many years. Okay. It was her husband. It was her husband. It was her husband who was called the Rainbow Man, to whom Swami appeared as Swami showed a rainbow, because he told his friends in Hollywood, I am going to see a character who calls himself God. And that friend of his asked, hey, you are going to see God, interesting, yeah? What will you ask him? He says, good question, I didn't think of it. Maybe I'll ask for a rainbow. And his friend says, don't forget the money at the end of the rainbow. And they laugh. And he comes to India, and the first day, he goes up the hill, and suddenly there's a rainbow. There are no clouds inside. He sees a rainbow. The stunning thing is this rainbow is not curved, it is straight like a wing. Okay. His name is Warden. He was a resident of Brindavan when we were students. A very great devotee of Swami, a Hollywood actor and producer and all that. His wife, of course, Diana Baskin's first husband, he was this Diana Baskin's subsequent husband, whoever is Mr. Baskin, and Robert Baskin or something. She has written a beautiful book on Divine Memories, in which she talks about some very interesting things that Swami tells. Swami says, Rahu Kalam. How long is Rahu Kalam? We think it's 1.5 hours and all that. No, it's just 1.5 minutes. Swami says that why? That is why on Monday 7:30 to 9 we say that we should start anything at that time. And many people say, I started, nothing happened. Okay. She says, Swami said that 1.5 minutes can come anywhere in this 1.5 hours. But because you don't know exactly where it comes, it's safe not to start anything new in that time. Okay. Like that, nice things. Good chances is by another person called Howard Ledin. He was among the group of about 15, 20 or even maybe 30 foreigners who had come to Swami in the 60s. They had all come as nomads. Some of them as hippies. They had hitchhiked all their way from US and across Europe. They had come to India. They all came to Swami like they were visiting various ashrams. They came to Puttaparthi. And they stayed here, and there are interesting incidents related to that. I don't have time for that. Mr. Howard Ledin has written this book, Good Chances. I had met him when he came to Prashant Nilayam some 30 years back. Young person, he knew Hindi very well. To talk to all those people, rickshawalas in Hindi. Then Shirdi to Patti by Dr. Kakare, a very senior gentleman. He was a devotee of Shirdi Baba. And then one of his patients comes and tells him, why don't you come to Shivam? And he comes to Shivam and finds that Swami and Shirdi Baba are one and the same. What he prays to Shirdi Baba, Swami answers. That's how he is convinced. He writes this book. Then Lord has come by Dr. Kalyani Sundarajan. Dr. Kalyani Sundarajan she was a regular visitor to our GH. Dr. Sundarajan was a plastic surgeon. Lokanatha Sai by Dr. Leela. Dr. Leela is the daughter of Lokanatha Mundayar, one of the person who started the Gindi temple in Shirdi Baba temple. which has the distinction of having the first idol of Shirdi Baba. In the whole world, the first idol of Shirdi Baba was not even in Shirdi. It was in Gindi temple, and it was inaugurated by Swami himself. Swami did the Prana Pratishtha of that. Then Sri Satyasai Anandadai by Karunamba from Mysore. Lots of beautiful experiences. Anyata Sharanam Nasti, of course, by our Kuppam Vijayamma. Anyata Sharanam Nasti, refuge. Other than you, refuge there is none. That is the English version. Autobiography of Peddabottu. Peddabottu had written the Telugu. She was one of those regular people who are there in Shirdi, in the Sannidhi of Shirdi Baba. She has written the book in Telugu called Swaya Charita, that is translated into English as Peddabottu. She used to keep a big bindi, so she was called Peddabottu by Swami and by devotees. A Catholic priest meets Sai Baba. This is by Mario Mazzolini. This gentleman was actually in Rome. He comes to Swami, becomes a great devotee of Swami. He is excommunicated by the church, but he says, I believe that Sai Baba is God. And he was excommunicated by the church and put a lot of, he's no more. But a wonderful book, written with such precision, it is something worth reading. Vision of Sai, there are 2 volumes of this by Rita Bruce. Very nicely written. It's written by a typical family woman from the US society. She talks about bringing up children, and of course she has written a later book, 2 volumes of that, called Satyasai Parenting. Okay, so Rita Bruce. And then there are travelogues, Swami's visits. The Light of Love in Africa. Professor Kasturi has written this. Swami's trip to East Africa. As we all know, that's the only foreign trip that Swami went. Normally people go to US and such places. Swami went to a country which is poorer than ours. East Africa he went. Then Divine Journey is a book written by Professor Venkatraman. It is Swami's visit to Delhi. This was in the late 90s. Then Badri Yatra is written by Vijayamma. It was in the late 50s, early 60s. Swami's visit to Badri. It is from with divinity to the divine, or with divine to the divinity, or something like that. It is. Then compilations. There are a number of compilations of Swami. Only a few of these I have written. Golden Age. Golden Age was brought out by the students, the alumni of Swami's institutions. There are 2 volumes of this brought out in 1979 and 1980. Swami was the guardian of this. So Swami has written 2 articles, beautiful articles on education. This has articles written by Justice Krishnaya, Justice Balakrishna Yaradi, then Justice Bhagavati, then the Honorable Vice President Pathak, the Acting President B.D. Jatti, Mr. Vajpayee, and many more people like that. Very, very renowned people during those times. And of course, Sai Chandana, Sai Vandana, all these are compilations brought out by the Satya Sai Institute of High Learning for the 75th birthday, 80th birthday. Sai Nandana is brought out by Satya Sai Hostel, Prashanti Nilayam, Senior Boys Hostel. Satya Sai, the Eternal Charity, is brought out by the Prashanti Society, which is actually a society of IAS officers from Andhra Pradesh. Because this is only one I have written, there are number, every 5 years they bring out one compilation like that. It is by all old devotees. They will speak in Telugu, it will be translated into English and so on. Digvijayam is a compilation brought out by the Satya Sai Senior Boys Hostel. It has 3 volumes. One is from 1926 to 85. The second one is from 86 to 2005. The third one is 2006 to 2010. It's something like what is till 85, of course, it is just a recap of all that happened in the earlier thing. From 85 onwards, what used to happen in the portico? In Prashanti Nilayam portico, only a few boys can hear what is Swami speaking. So every day the person who would be sitting there would come and write that and put it on the notice board so that everyone can Yeah, so it is that. Sanatan Sati commemorative volumes. They also bring out 80th birthday, 85th birthday, like that. And those naturally contain beautiful articles by all the top people in the world. Prem Anjali is the one which the Satyasai Sadhana Trust has brought out, the 85th year of Swami's birth. Because we'll cap this, I have taken too much of your time, but sorry, I lost myself. Just talking about the names of these books takes so much time, so you can understand. There are these famous authors. Professor Kasturi I need not mention because he is the Valmiki of our age. Howard Murfitt, as I told you, Howard Murfitt has written a number of books. Even after that, Where the Road Ends, he has written a couple of books on Swami's teachings. Samuel Sandweiss also has written, besides the Spirit and Mind, there is a book like that which he has written. Dr. John Hislop is another great devotee of Swami, a great spiritual aspirant. He came to Swami and his conversations with Swami is brought out in the form of a book called Conversations with Satya Sai Baba. And there are other books also. I think, I forget the name, it has something to do with the Search for Divinity or something like that, final later book. And Phyllis Crystal, of course, I told you those 4 books. Joy Thomas is another lady who has brought out 3 volumes in Life is a Game, Play It, Life is a Challenge, Meet It, Life is a Dream, Realize It. So I have given you just an overview of the little bit that I know of Sai literature. This is in one language. And this all over the world, it is happening in multiple languages. This is just what is printed. You can imagine today with Samarpan blossoming in every part of the world. Even the other day I was hearing Samarpan has started in New York, in New Jersey. They have Samarpan sessions. They have, of course, in Visakhapatnam, in Hyderabad, in Bombay, in Dharmakshetra. Of course, the pride of starting Samarpan goes to Brindavan because it started in May 2011. This is the senior most. We had the 153rd speaker recently. So there is so much to immerse ourselves. If today in this world of information, if you want information, literally at our fingertips it's available. We can just lose ourselves into this, and it's very important that every day we should read something about it. Because in the Taittiriya Upanishad, at the end of the student's study, the Guru tells, he tells various things. Kushalanna pramaditavyam, don't neglect your health. Bhutyaina pramaditavyam, don't neglect the elements. Swadhyaya pravachanabhyam na pramaditavyam, don't forget to update yourself. Swadhyaya, every day you must read, every day you must talk. About good things, you must read about good things. Don't forget to update yourself. It's very, very important for us to do this. It has been such a delight for me just preparing for this speech. I don't know how to thank the organizers for giving me this wonderful opportunity. I have placed before you the little bit I know, and it's such a delight. Why should we read Sai literature? Besides those things which I told you, all of us love Swami. When you love someone, you like to know everything that person loves. You like to know everything that person does not like. What are the allergies that person has? What is that person allergic to? What is it that person loves? That is the way we lead our life, isn't it? So naturally we all love Swami. We love everything that is dear to him. How do we get to know what is dear to him? Read Sai literature. If you read Sai literature, there is nothing else you need to read in the whole world to become a highly enlightened person. Okay, to reach Swami. As they say, Salokyam, Samipyam. If you are on this earth, it's Swami. So when you read this book, it takes you closer to him. Samipyam. When you keep on contemplating on what he has given, you become like him. Sarupyam, and then you merge in him. Sayujyam. So that is the journey that
we have to undertake, and there's no greater sadhana than this. Every day, okay, let us promise ourselves to read at least one page of Swami's, something on Swami. Let it be the latest Sanatana Sadhana. Can be some part of Satyam Sundara. There's so many wonderful things, okay, that we can hear about Swami. Every day, let us fill ourselves with this Ananda. That is the way. I was telling when they came to talk to me about this and invite me for this talk, I told this to Subbarao. I told him, see, normally what happens in our workaday world, we forget for what we are here. We are highly excited about working. Sometimes we forget that it's not just working, but understanding the purpose for what we are working. And it is like this famous story, they say, a woodcutter was very good at it, so a company employed him. And first day he cut 25 trees. And then as the months went by, it reduced. He was working from morning to night, but the number of trees he was cutting became 25, 20, 15, 5, like that. And then he was depressed. He said, what's happening to me? And then someone called him and said, what is happening is you are forgetting to grind your axe. You need to grind your axe so that you can cut at the same level of efficiency or become better. So even if you want to serve better, we should understand for what we are serving. We are not doing service here to benefit mankind. We are doing service here to benefit ourselves. See, Swami can say, na sesha jeevitani, na bhaktula sevalo ankitam chesi, na jeevitani sarthakam cheskovali. I want to sanctify my life. I want to redeem my life by serving my devotees. If that is the ideal of the Lord, what should our ideal be? I leave you with these thoughts. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing, highlighting, inspiring, and introducing to that big ocean of literature and sowing the seed of the importance of being in touch with Sai literature. The way, we thoroughly enjoyed the way you narrated your experiences, taking small nuances also like mosquito bite, remembering the days, Thursday, Sunday, especially that running race scene. It actually ran like a movie in front of our eyes. So beautifully narrated. I could see a lot of smiles, laughs in the audience's faces. That's so beautifully narrated. And beautifully concluding with Salokya, Samipya, Sanidhya and Saihijya, the 4 stages of expression of bhakti towards the Lord. So beautifully explained. Thank you very much for enlightening us, introducing to this beautiful literature and, giving us a path for us for changing from Rakshasa to Sakshara. Thank you so much. And I really felt, this day we have to count our blessings. Today is one such day we have to put it into that list where, we started, from the tomorrow maybe the journey starts, which will bring more blessings into us, taking today's concepts into our life. I felt the whole 700 shlokas of Bhagavad Gita, the essence of all Bhagavad Gita, came in just 9 points of code of conduct. Very small pills of 9 pills of Bhagavad Gita. The whole 700 shlokas are just in 9 pills, so beautifully, so easily, understandably given to us by Swami. Humble pranams to everyone who is here. Thank you once again, sir. Thank you so much.
This camp a resounding success. Sri Sundar Ananta Raman, the esteemed state spiritual coordinator of Sri Satya Sai Seva Organization Karnataka South, whose invaluable guidance and unwavering support has been a cornerstone of our camp's preparation. His insightful introduction to the topic set the stage for the meaningful discussions and learning experiences. Shri KVSN Murthy, the Dynamic District President of Bangalore East, Shri Satya Sai Seva Organization, Karnataka South, whose strategic prowess and diligent efforts were instrumental in connecting us with the esteemed speakers and meticulously planning the camp's schedule. His dedication ensured a seamless flow of events throughout the camp. We extend our deepest gratitude to Dr. Ravi Kumar T for gracing us with his presence despite his demanding responsibilities as the Warden of Sri Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, Brindavan. His profound insights and engaging discourse added immense value to the camp, inspiring all attendees. Our heartfelt appreciation goes out to all the esteemed speakers whose enlightening sessions captivated and inspired us. Their expertise and wisdom enriched our understanding and I'm sure has left a lasting impact on all the participants and has inspired many of us to restart, refresh, refocus our life along the 9-point code of conduct given by Swami. To our dedicated organizing members, youth, Bal Vikas alumni and volunteers for your tireless dedication and selfless efforts which were a driving force behind the success of this event. Your commitment to excellence ensured a flawless execution, making this camp a truly memorable experience for all. We express our gratitude to the hospital authorities for graciously providing with the venue and state-of-the-art AV equipment, enabling us to conduct this camp seamlessly. Their support and cooperation were invaluable in bringing our vision to fruition. Last but certainly not the least, our heartfelt thanks to the canteen staff for their outstanding hospitality and delicious offerings for the food, lunch and tea. Their warmth and attention to detail added to overall comfort and enjoyment for all participants. In closing, we are deeply grateful to each and every one of you for your unwavering support, dedication and contributions. Your collective efforts have not only made this camp a success, but also laid the foundation for future endeavors. Let us carry forward this spirit of collaboration and learning ignited by this camp as we continue on our journey of personal and spiritual growth. Thank you all for your invaluable contributions. Jai Sai.